lovely cushioned header. But Gerrard! Yakuza! What a head, son! What a head! Well, you take a second in these circumstances. What you have seen.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of the LFC Couch. My name's Steve and I'll be your host today. Joining me, we have got two people today. I've got Lee, who's a regular now on the couch. Hasn't been on for probably about 3 months. He's been in hiding, I think, but Lee's back. So Lee, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Steve. I haven't technically been in hiding. I've just been working, man.
Been ignoring us all.
Yeah. Well, there's no football. What are we going to talk about? Now there is. I'm back.
N64 games, things like that. All good.
I've got to do.
See?
Literally.
See, that's all we had to do.
So
Lee is good.
I am good, yes.
We can do a separate pod on the N64 another time, but we have also got a guest who you and I both know quite well. So for the listeners, we've got Terry, who is my eldest brother and Lee's brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
So Terry, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
All good. Okay, so
Glad to be on. First one.
Good. When we get new people on, we always ask. We know the answers to these questions, obviously, but for the listeners, obviously your name's Terry. I've told everyone that. Tell us where in the world you are and how you became a Liverpool fan.
So I'm in Bedford, so yours and Lee's hometown. Liverpool fan-wise, so been a Liverpool fan all my life. Dad's a Liverpool fan, and he almost forced us all to be Liverpool fans when we were growing up. I'm named after a Liverpool player. You can guess which one.
I couldn't possibly guess who it is. I'm trying to think of the most random Terry now.
Terry McManaman.
I was going to go with something like Jimmy Traore, but I'll leave it at that. So I was named after Terry McDermott. And we're all Liverpool fans, so that's just how it's come about.
Who are you named after, Steve?
Well,
McManaman.
Obviously. Wasn't it Steve Nicol or something stupid?
It was Steve Nicol, yeah.
Legend.
I'd like to say more. It was Steve Highway, but for some reason it was Steve Nicol.
It's because Steve Nicol was Player of the Year, wasn't he? See,
there's no songs about Steve Nicol there.
There aren't, and he's a bit of a helmet now, so that's not a good one to be named after. So,
if the shoe fits.
Anyway, let's crack on. So it's been 3 months, about 100 days since Premier League football was last kicked, and finally we're back underway. For you, Terry, it was last night, and for me and Lee, it was the early hours of this morning. We will talk about, I want to go on about them couple of games briefly, but before we talk about them and look forward to the rest of the season and what's to come, I want to look back on what's been a fantastic season for us so far. And it's the only thing I gave you advice on what we're going to talk about. And I asked you both to think of your favourite 3 moments. So we'll go through them. We will sort of take it in turns, and because some of us might double up on the same answer. So Terry, seeing as you're the guest on here, hit us with your first one and why.
Right. First one I could think of was the City game in November. So that was our first big game of the season. At the time, we were sort of 6 points clear of them, and you see it as a 6-pointer. So if you lose that game, they're only 3 points behind, and that doesn't feel like a comfortable gap at that point. But the way we played that game, didn't really feel under too much pressure in that game until they scored towards the end. And that obviously then took us 9 points clear of City and 8 points clear of everyone else, I think. So it opened up a significant gap at the top. And the way we just played in that game, we didn't really give them much time on the ball, took our chances, and the added fact of Guardiola losing his shit a couple of times during the game, which is really good.
Yeah, it's always nice to see. I think I watched one of the lads in the couch sent a link to the Aussie coverage here. They've just done the season so far, and I watched it yesterday, and that was one game where you saw, right, that's where we properly stepped it up. I think, was it the first 5 minutes they came at us? But apart from that, we looked, as you just said, Terry, really comfortable until they got the goal back. So I'm not surprised that's in there for one of you. Lee, did you happen to have that one at all?
I did, but I picked a specific moment from that game, and for me,
I've
as much as Fabinho's goal was brilliant, it was that Salah goal that was just. There's no turning back here. Like Trent across to Robbo back across to Salah, nice little header, and you knew it was all over by then. They ain't coming back from that. Yeah,
because that was quite quickly after the first goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. I think it was all in the first 15, 16 minutes or something like that. But that was the real. I think we all as Liverpool fans went, "Oh, here we go. This is on."
Yeah, that's when
that was my first moment, really.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because again, I have gone for that game. I haven't just gone for the game as such, but I've gone from a moment in the game, and Lee mentioned it, and it is Fabinho's goal right at the beginning. Because I think, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the first 5-10 minutes, they actually came out and went straight for us. I think they got a corner after about 10 seconds, and they put us under a little bit of pressure. And then there was that penalty, wasn't it moment with Trent. And then no, it wasn't, and then Fabinho going down the other end and smashing it in. So for me, as you both said, that moment in the game was one of my favourites, but the game as a whole was sort of where everyone sort of sat up and went, yeah, we seriously mean business this year, because going from 6 points to 9 points was massive. So first one done for all of us, and we all included the same game. So hopefully the second lot won't be so similar. So Lee, I'll start with you on your second one.
Second one will be Trent as a whole against Leicester in that 4-0 game. He just took them apart.
In December.
Couple of assists, a goal. Yeah, he just ran the show from beginning to end. He was just a monster. And that was him. Like Trent, we've all known he's capable of assisting, double figures every season. But he showed an all-round game that, in 5-10 years, he could be right winger, central midfield. The sky's the limit for that man. And that game for him was him putting a stamp on it, saying, I am one of the greatest player in my position right now.
You didn't mention goalkeeper.
Well, yeah, it could be keeper too. You never know.
Got it in his locker.
Well, we've seen worse things happen. So
yeah, no.
But for me, that was him. That was his show, and his stage, and he lit it up.
That was a big moment as well, because we'd just come back from the World Club Championship, hadn't we? Mm-hmm. Just won that, and everyone sort of thought this is the tricky game. We're going to be a little bit jaded after all the travelling. We've had a busy schedule, and then we're going away to Leicester, which is never easy. And they were at that stage. They were flying at that point, and they weren't that far behind us.
I think they were second, I think.
They were, they were above City. So
they were, and they had the best defensive record in the league at the moment at that time, and then we put 4 past them. So
yeah, that's probably one of the most comprehensive victories we've had so far this season, I'd say, based on the circumstances and how it turned out. So I haven't gone for that game, so I'm happy with that, or anything in that game. So Terry, what was your second one?
Okay. Well, I wrote some things down yesterday, and I wrote 4-0 Leicester in capital letters, Trent.
Yes.
So I've gone for the same as Lee Boy. A few things on that, because I was at the game for that one, and I took Jacob, my lad, to that one. So that was his first league game as well. So just to be there in the stadium at the time, his first game as well, a night game, it's Christmas, you're playing against Leicester, you say second or third in the league at the time. And Trent's performance that day, just all round the whole game, was unbelievable. And then to cap it off with that goal at the end, which was where the away end was, is that end where he celebrated in front of us. And also that game, our uncle's a Leicester fan. So we met up with him and we went to the game. And afterwards, when we were walking back, he was saying the only thing he could think about during that second half was, how do you play against Trent Alexander-Arnold? What do you do? Because you can't stop him, because he plays the balls in so fast, or with whip or whatever. He said he can't understand how any team can play against him. And that just summed it up really for me, for someone else from the opposing fan saying that.
Yeah, that's fair enough, actually, because you close him down, he's got the ability to beat you. You close him down, he's got the ability to just knock it long or ping it round you, or you stand off him and give him the space, then you're just inviting him to bring it on and whip it in or have a shot. So,
yeah,
fair point. Good old Uncle Steve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
with a bit of knowledge there. So Lee's covered his camera, so I don't know what he's doing. But
I'll do it. I don't know.
I'm gonna
All good.
crack on with my second one. So it doesn't involve Liverpool 4 Leicester 0, but it's the return game at the beginning of the season back in October. So it's when we beat them 2-1 at Anfield back in October. And it was the manner in the way we won it. I remember going down to Cheers Bar to watch this, and we were still 100% at this record. We hadn't played great, and it was, I think Sadio Mane got the early goal in the first half, and then they got a late sort of equaliser, and it didn't look like we were going to do anything. And then we got the dubious penalty right in the last minute, where Sadio Mane won the penalty, shall we say. And it was just, that was the first moment of that season, or this season, sorry, where we looked like we're not going to get a result, and then we just claw it from nowhere. And it was James Milner smashing in the penalty in the last minute, and then just giving it the look how cool I am with his arms crossed while everyone celebrates. So we're going Liverpool, Leicester all round, but just a couple of different games. So for the last one, Terry, I'll come back to you on the last one. You can go with your first one.
Okay. The last one is the Salah goal against United at Anfield. Least fuming there.
Least fuming. See, I had a feeling either one of you would pick it, so I tried to avoid that. I've tried to think a bit random with mine.
Well, I'm thinking of saying random now. Go to you next, Steve.
Yeah, I'll pick that one. Just that game, at the end of that game, that was the first time where I really sort of allowed myself to think the league's done. And it was that moment at the end where, we took the early lead, had a goal disallowed, which shouldn't have been disallowed, really, to be honest. And then United put us under a bit of pressure, sort of in the last 15, 10 minutes. Yeah. And it was all getting a bit twitchy. And then you get that moment where Alisson twats it upfield, Salah breaks away and slots it. And that was the moment where I think at that point, even the ground started singing, we're going to win the league. It just felt like that was the main. If you're going to pick a moment for the team where you celebrated winning the league, that's the one, I think.
Yeah. Like, we're not going to have that moment in the stadium this year now to celebrate winning the league. But like you say, that if you're going to look at any point in the season, I think that is it. That's where the crowd most accepted it. The song started and everyone was like, right, I think that's that done. And that was still quite a way back, but we were so far ahead.
January sometime.
So that's a good shout. I had a feeling one of you would pick it at least. So Lee's now quickly trying to think of another one.
I've got one, but I'll wait for yours next year.
Okay, so my last one is random, and it's more recent. It was in our last league game. So the last league game we played was Bournemouth at home, and I haven't got an obsession with James Milner, but you might think I have because this involves James Milner again. So we were 2-1 up, I think. They went 1-0 ahead, and then we turned it around to get 2-1. And there was a moment, probably with about 5 minutes left, where they went through, completely beat the goalkeeper with a lob, and then James Milner come out of nowhere and did one of the best goal line clearances I've ever seen, where he just absolutely smashes it off the line, manages it to keep it out and curls it out of play. And I just think, for me, that just sums him up. And we were going through a bit of a tricky spell with them games after the winter break, and that just confirmed another, because that was after the Watford defeat as well. So it was good to get back to winning ways with that. And it was the last sort of Premier League game we've played. So it stuck in my mind. There is another moment I could think of, but I'm not going to mention it because I said we'll stick with 3. So Lee, what is your third?
Everton. League game in Anfield. Fucking destroyed them. And don't get me wrong, it was a bit twitchy again at the time, especially when what's his face scored the defender. Keane? No, it's not
Keane.
Keane.
Yeah, what's Keane? Yeah, Michael Keane.
That's right. I could only think of Roy Keane for a minute, and it wasn't him. But yeah, just I watched the highlights of that the other day, and just the manner of it. Like, we had a lot of kids playing. Well, not a lot of kids, but a lot of second string players like Divock, Shaqiri, Lovren to an extent.
Lallana.
Oh yeah, Lallana as well. Of course, he played brilliantly that day. But yeah, you look at that game, and some of the goals, Lovren's ball, Mane's pass, like Divock's chip, a couple of Shaqiri, Mane finishes. It was just a brilliant performance from a very understrength side. And it's always nice to knock one over on Everton because they're shit.
Sorry, what was that? You like to knock one out?
Hey, I will confirm, neither deny. But yeah, just the way we performed against them and we just knocked them off. And there was a see you later. And then Richarlison got one as well, but he's a dick as well.
He is a prick. That was just before half time, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no, it was a great performance by everybody on the pitch.
That was a good one. Again, as I say on the programme I watched the other day, season so far, it was good to see that back again because we did
yesterday.
Some of the football we played and the breakaway goals were just brilliant. So, no, that was good.
Yep.
So, that's our 3 done. I was going to say, I will mention the other one. The other one I had in mind was Sadio Mane's winner at Aston Villa away. When we were we were shite.
See,
and,
I was going to say Mane's at Southampton just before half time. We looked like shit that day.
Yeah.
We whipped one in top corner. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just
at the moment, as opposed
that
to
was
the game.
just after the Super Cup final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then Adrian just passed it to Danny Ings. And so there you go. Have one. Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been, as we all know, it's been a very good season. So it's been, just wanted to see what your favourite moments were. But we are now back underway. Terry, I'm assuming you watched both of the games yesterday?
Yeah.
Or have seen bits of them?
Yeah, I watched most of Sheffield United, Villa, and then all of Man City, Arsenal.
Cool. Lee, I'm assuming you didn't get up and watch them because they were at silly hour.
Nah. Well, I was going to get up and watch City, not Arsenal, but I couldn't be asked. But I watched highlights this afternoon. So, and then Sheffield Villa, I just thought it was a shit 0-0 draw when I saw the result. But on
that game, I assume you've seen what happened. So, Lee, me and you we have spoken so much about how shite VAR is and stuff like that. So, but this one's a different one. So I'm interested to hear what you think on this one. Terry, let's go with you. What do you think on that no goal?
It's an odd one because clearly VAR, you'd have thought, would have stepped in.
Yeah.
Because it was obvious it had gone over.
Well, that's
what obvious it had gone over the line. And there was I think they put something out last night or this morning saying, because the referee didn't get something on his watch, we didn't then get the chance to go back and look at it, which all felt a bit odd because...
How many replays did we see, though, watching it?
Yeah, exactly. They showed the replay straight away. And, you could see it live because he was, in the back of the net. It
was ridiculous, because he falls into the net and then he pushes the ball into the back of the post. So, therefore, it's over the line, which... It's not just that. You look at... The replay was shown so many times. You watch the reaction on the goalkeeper's face and the defender's face. Mm-hmm. They're like, fuck, what's happened? And then they can't believe what they got away with. So... Absolute madness. How VAR couldn't just step in and say, that went over the line. I know they got the goal line technology, and apparently players were blocking the cameras or something was the excuse.
Fuck off.
Yeah, they've said something that it's never happened in 9,000 games that view was able to block the ball with the post, the defenders, and the goalie.
There's a reason why it hasn't happened, because the referees made a call. Referees now are just relying on VAR to bail them out, so they don't make a shit call.
But to be honest, can you really blame? I know it was quite obvious to us, but was it that obvious to the ref? And he's got technology on him, which is supposed to be foolproof. And if his watch doesn't vibrate, because you saw him pointing to his watch to the
referee's also got headphones and is able to talk to the guys. Why can't he say, "I've got nothing here"? Like the way everyone's reacting seems like it was a goal. What's happened? And they go, we've blocked goal line, but it did go in, call it. Goal, thanks very much, see you later. But I just think, for the first game back as well, it's not a good look that we're all ready to come back. But I can't, if I was a Sheffield United fan, I'd be pissed because they were way better than Villa on the game.
Yeah.
But, hey, what do you do? It was a shit call, bad call.
Exactly, and I know...
Yeah, and I know there's still because they're going for Champions League.
Well, that's it. I was just about to say that there's still 9 games left for each team, but that potential decision has so many implications in the bottom and the top of the table. So, like you said there, Sheffield United still going for Europe. If they miss out on it by 1 point, 2 points. There's the difference there, and
Yeah.
they'll be fuming. And then vice versa as well down the bottom of the table. If Villa survive now by a point, you can have the other clubs who are fuming because of that one decision, which we can all see. We can all debate over certain decisions over the season, but that was the most conclusive and clear fuck up I've ever seen, to be honest. It was just ridiculous. So,
especially today with all this technology. Like back when Louis Garcia's goal against Chelsea, you didn't have that. You just had an estimation and a guess that it looked like it went over. I call it. Thanks very much. But now we've got a goal line, VAR, whatever else you want, replays everywhere.
use them.
You've got 12 cameras down the other side of the pitch. Get rid of the Muppets on the screen and put that on. And we've got a result. So,
Yeah, what is that all about?
I don't know.
Did you see we'll go into it now. We'll skip forward to the Man City Arsenal game. Did you see the screen when Granit Xhaka was down injured? There was the bloke on the screen behind the goal. Did you see him?
No.
Either he was celebrating the injury or he clocked that he was on TV, so he started celebrating in the background while matey's injured on the floor. But now, I mean, for me, obviously that result has an impact on us because it now means we can't win the league at Goodison at the weekend. But it's still only 2 games to win, so it doesn't really change a lot in the grand scheme of things. But City deserved it. David Luiz came on and did his best.
Arsenal
to just give the. What was it? Did you see their lineup though? Just surprised me. He had. I mean, he never plays Lacazette. He had no Pepe. He had no Lacazette. He had kids playing, and he had a real young centre back playing. And I know when David Luiz came on, he didn't really change anyone's opinion that he should have started. But I was just surprised when I saw the lineup. But then City obviously started without Aguero, didn't they? So I think we're going to see a few lineups. Surprising.
Aguero's a bit different, in my opinion. Like Aguero is getting on a bit. His best days are probably behind him. And you got Gabriel Jesus, who's in his own right a pretty bloody decent striker. Mm-hmm. Not that he haven't had 3 months rest to get over, or if he's had an injury, I don't know. But he's got a little niggle. We don't know. They don't disclose these things. But I don't understand why Arsenal. I mean, I can't remember how much Lacazette cost, but I remember him being a beast at Lyon. He was a monster of a player. So I don't know why he can't have Aubameyang right up top, Lacazette playing off him, or the other way around. And just use it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
For me, Lacazette does more for the team than what Aubameyang does. So I don't.
Aubameyang did nothing yesterday.
No, he was crap. I bet Arsenal were crap in general, but obviously City got that win.
They are crap in general.
And then we go on to Everton at the weekend, which is Sunday back in the UK. What time's kickoff? Is it
7 o'clock here?
7 o'clock at night. So it's a 4 a.m. kickoff here. It's on Monday morning, so we'll be getting up early to watch that. Lee, I'm not sure if you will be.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
So
I had to make sure I didn't overlap with when I had to go to work. It's all good.
Get your priorities right. But anyway, just wanted to get your thoughts on the game.
To go to work.
Yeah, I get paid to sit at home at the moment, which is fine. But anyway, so just wanted to get your thoughts on the game. So, Terry, what are your early predictions? We'll go with what do you reckon for the starting lineup? Are you reckon we're going to be any surprises, or do you reckon he'll go tried and tested?
No, I think he's going to go for his favourite 11 to start with, I think, unless there's anything that comes up this week in training. But I think it'll be the usual
back four. Who's in the
back four?
Midfield three?
Midfield of Jordan, Gini and Fabinho.
Could be. I think it'd be interesting to see how Fabinho comes back, because he just had that injury, hadn't he? And then he came back before, obviously, this season was suspended, and he was a bit crap, wasn't he? So
yeah, he was.
Hopefully he gets back to form sometime soon, but we'll see. Lee, make any suggestions for changes to that team, or do you think he'll go with that?
No, I think he'll go with the safe selection of the first 11. I can't see any reason why not. Go at them and get them done with. Go and get 3 points and come home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to throw him in there because I picked him as two of my favourite moments. Maybe James Milner might get a nod in midfield. Away at Goodison. I know Goodison isn't going to be the normal Goodison because you take away the fans, it gets rid of that hostility there. And let's all be honest, Everton are pretty shit, so we should be able to beat them wherever they are. But I don't know, sometimes in the away games, he does like to pick James Milner, but we shall see. So
It's not an everyday away game, though, is it?
no, it's not everyday away game, and no away game is going to be an everyday away game now. I think, as we've seen in Germany, the big teams are winning most of the games now, regardless of where the games are. You've taken away that factor of the away support, or the home fans when you're going away, making it difficult. So it'd be interesting to see if we get the same in England. But we should have enough. To be honest, all I care about is getting those 2 wins and having enough to win the title, and anything else after that is a bonus.
Yeah.
So score lines, Lee, what do you reckon?
2-0.
2-0 scorers?
2-0. Mane twice.
Mane twice. Terry?
I was going to say 2-0 as well. Mane and Mo.
Mane and Mo. Okay, so just to be different, I'll go 3-0. I'm going to go with Bobby, Mo, and Mane. There you go. One of the three. It's not often they all score in the same game, so we'll go with that. So we're all pretty confident on that. And then is it Palace afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah. Palace on the
I
Wednesday
think I
night
saw
for
it.
me.
Yeah, which I saw a tweet earlier from the Anfield Wrap saying by the time that game comes around, we won't have lost a game at Anfield in the league for like 1,168 or something like that days. And it was Palace who last beat us as well, wasn't it?
It's always Palace. Fucking Palace.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, look, we should have enough to beat both of them and then be crowned champions. And that's assuming that Man City they got Burnley this weekend, haven't they? So they need to win that. But look, it's pretty much done, but we just need to get over the line. And then anything else that comes with that, any other records we're going for, they're a bonus. So what is it? We can get a maximum of 109 points.
Yeah.
Terry, how many do you think we're going to get?
I reckon we're going to get 105.
Ooh.
I reckon we're going to draw a couple of games. Whether that's City and Chelsea, maybe.
Yeah, see.
Chelsea's away, isn't it? And if Chelsea is still fighting for top 4. Yeah, home, sorry.
Yeah. Scored that free kick.
Sorry, yeah. He did, yeah.
Beaten 2-1.
Yeah, but if Chelsea is still fighting for top 4 with the others, then they might have more to play for than us at that point because it's right at the end of the season, isn't it? So
yeah, second from last game. So
yeah,
I think we might lose one more game and draw another game. So we're going to drop 5 points. So I've got 104 points, which would still be nice because that would still be a record.
Yeah,
but obviously 109 would be good. Lee, what do you reckon? You're going to say 109, aren't you? Straight out.
I was going to say 110. Get a bonus point for being so good. City's the obvious standout for the difficult fixture. Chelsea at home. Chelsea aren't really that great, to be quite honest. Like, they're doing all right. They've got a lot of youth going on, but for a team like us and City, we should wipe them away pretty comfortably. At home as well, of course. Like that's my opinion, but I think if we just get a draw, I'd go 106, 107.
Okay.
So either a draw or a loss at City.
Yeah, because if you go through the final games, you've got Everton away, Palace home, Man City away, Villa at home, Brighton away, Burnley at home, Arsenal away, Chelsea at home, and Newcastle away. So
can't see us dropping much.
City's the one you look at. You think potentially we could drop points there.
Yeah.
And then you've got like Chelsea, as Terry said earlier, if Chelsea is still going for that top 4 place, that's the second from last game. They could be really up for that, whereas we're just in holiday mode. Arsenal, away to Arsenal, who knows?
Holiday mode.
They've just had their holiday. So
Klopp is not relenting on this. Win every game or nothing at all.
That's it. Just go out. 109 points, break every record.
Yep.
Lift that trophy and then reclaim it next year.
Title.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Put an asterisk next to it and all that crap.
I had a good argument with some bloke on Twitter the other day, an Everton fan. It's quite fun. He had all these arguments, like we've been cheating since day one, and then some other
taking
Liverpool
drugs?
fan joined in. Yeah. Well, that was one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But then he was like, well, come on, give me some examples. He's like, oh, it's been Liverpool for so long. And he's like, well, give me some examples. What, Newcastle? That was like close to Christmas. But then, he got the Newcastle game, which I can't remember exactly what. The home game where Williams scored first, cracker of a goal.
And then
but we also lost a decision.
We should have had a penalty when Matip was basically hauled down,
So basically, we came at him, but he had no answer to any of it. So he just fucked off.
So is it typical?
Anyway, yeah. There's plenty of them about. But again, this tainted title won't leave us until we win it next year. And
the year after?
Well, can't be too greedy. Get to 21, tell United to get fucked and move on. Then Ferguson will come back.
Oh, Jesus, no. Fucking hell. I'd stay off social media forever if he came back because it would be a wank fest. It'd be ridiculous. But anyway, I don't want to talk about Fergie.
No.
One topic of discussion that keeps coming round and round and round. Just interested to know your thoughts. Lee, I think I know your opinion. But Terry, Philip Coutinho. Yes or no?
Bring him back.
One, do you think will it happen? And two, do you want it to happen?
I don't think we'll buy him. I think if he comes back, it might be on a loan. I just can't see us shelling out. I know they owe us the money, still owes a load of money from when they bought him, but I can't see us putting a load of money aside for him. It might be a loan because he needs to get game time. They want to give him another season of playing somewhere else. I'd have him back because he's clearly a very good player. Yeah. But I just don't think we should be spending the amount of money that Barcelona would want for him to buy him, is my thing.
Yeah, I mean, how old's he now? Was he 29? Something like that? He's late 20s, isn't he? Around approaching his 30s. So I think the value I saw mentioned the other day is Barcelona dropped their valuation down to like 40 odd million now, I think, haven't they? Just because they want to. But apparently, I mean, how true that is, I don't know, but that's what the press were reporting. So if you could pick a player up like that for 40 million, it's the most tempted I've been for us to get him back. Always before, I've just said no because one, I didn't like the way he left, and two, we've actually progressed a lot as a club without him, and do we really want to go and spank 80, 90 million what it would take to get him back? But now that value is dropping a bit more. Yeah, it's probably the most tempted I've been, but I don't think it's going to happen. Personally, I think it's just lazy journalism. Every time it comes round, Philip Coutinho's struggling. Bayern Munich don't really want to extend it or sign him, so they're trying to find a new club for him. And obviously, his agent keeps mentioning that he still loves Liverpool, so we'll always get mentioned. But I can't see it myself. I wouldn't be totally against it now based on the circumstances because he is still a quality player. But would he play week in, week out with the midfield we've got? I don't know. It's an interesting one. Would he be shoved in as part of the front three? We shall see. No. Lee, your opinion. So I know you would happily have him back.
Yeah, I'm the same as Terry. I'd have him back all day, but I don't think Klopp will get him. It is a touchy subject. I mean, a lot of fans will think, no, he betrayed us. He can go fuck himself. Excuse my French. But we know the quality he's got. We know what he can do. I would have him back, personally. If I was in charge of the place, I would have him back. But there would be a few conditions that he'd have to come into. A lot less wages, no guarantee, first team football, has to make an apology, etc. And just prove himself. You know what I mean? I think that's the main thing. But if he has dropped down to 40, 45 million or whatever, and we can't, for whatever reason, go for Timo Werner, I would take Werner all day over Coutinho.
Yeah, so would I, but that ship seems to have sailed. So while we're
it
on
has sailed.
He hasn't completed his move to Chelsea yet, has he? But
Well, he doesn't want to play in the Champions League so he can go through a move, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
hang on, what? He doesn't want to what?
He's going to withdraw from Leipzig's squad to fulfill a move to Chelsea.
But then he ain't going to be able to play for Chelsea
No,
this
but he
year
wants
anyway.
to
So
just
next
get it
year.
done. Yeah,
Okay.
It's what's happening. Yeah.
Fair enough. I hadn't heard that. But, I mean, what's your opinion on that Werner deal? Obviously, everyone was up for it. Timo Werner, we all thought it was the perfect signing for us. German signing, similar in the sort of mould of Mo Salah, just plays on the other wing. And then obviously that story came out about Chelsea and everyone was a bit shocked. So, Terry, were you bothered about it or just...
Yeah, I really wanted us to sign him when the chat first was coming out earlier in the season, and the fact that everyone knew he had a release clause. I thought it was a done deal. I thought it was, and I think if the whole pandemic thing hadn't happened, I think it probably would have happened by now. Yeah, it would have happened by now. I think.
Yeah,
it would have just been done. And clearly, Liverpool are trying to be careful with cash. And that's why they haven't done it. Chelsea have got cash floating around because they haven't spent any of the Morata or the Hazard money. So, because they had their transfer ban. So I think that's where they're going, well, we've got 150 million to spend and we can do that. Whereas I think we're not going to be in that position. And we don't know when things are going to get back to normal. So even the Coutinho thing, I don't even know if we'd go to spend 40, 45 million on Coutinho either. If we're not going to do the 50 million for Werner, then
yeah, it makes no sense to go and spend 40 million on someone who's a lot older and who walked out on the club a few years ago. So, no, it's a weird one. Like, I think most Liverpool fans were all for it. I thought it was the perfect signing for us, and obviously, again, I agree. If the pandemic hadn't have happened, I think we'd have done the deal. But
I
for whatever
don't
reason,
think that's the issue. I don't think it's got anything to do with pandemic or
You don't
pandemic,
think?
whatever you want to call it. No, I think he expressed his interest in coming to Liverpool. That's the team he wanted to come and play for. There has to be another reason why Klopp just stopped going for him. There's got to be a reason. 40-odd million is not a lot of money in today's terms. There's nothing.
Yeah,
We didn't
but it is
spend
a lot.
fuck all last year.
It is a lot of money when you hear reports that the board are telling Klopp there isn't money to spend this year.
yeah.
Well, where was the money from last year that we had? That we just spent on Harvey Elliott.
And
think the
Minamino
thing
in
is-
January.
Sorry,
And we just-
Minamino, 7 million, whatever.
And don't
But I
forget
think-
him as well. He's
Well-
another player we've got in there.
Well, and I think, that would be part of the reasoning. You've got, Curtis Jones. You've got all these young kids that are pretty close to being ready to play for Liverpool, pretty much off the bench for the next season, but will be stepping in on, League Cup, rest days, etc., etc. And of course, Minamino, who can play anywhere across that front three and in attacking midfield. So, yeah, I'm just confused by it. I'm confused why it was all we're getting him. Nothing.
No, it's a weird one. But then we've seen this before with other players. And who was the lad who went over, the Brazilian who went to Russia? Texeira. Apparently that was all a done deal. And then we pulled out and didn't want to spend 25 million on him. And then it's happened before. And I mean, I know everyone starts to lose their shit when we don't sign anyone. They did it last summer. We didn't sign anyone and I wasn't bothered.
FSG out, man.
Yeah, and all that
Yeah,
crap. And then if you go back a few years, there was the Mario Götze rumours that we were going to sign him back, and it came down to us losing the Europa League final, and apparently he wanted Champions League football, so he didn't want to come anymore.
He's on a free, isn't he, after the season?
Yeah, but my point is everyone lost their shit because we weren't signing him. But then don't forget, as a result of not buying him, we went out and bought Sadio Mane. So we may miss out on Timo Werner now, but
Look,
Minamino might step up, or we might 6 months down the line or a year down the line buy someone else instead. And
I guess my other line of thinking is that Timo's still relatively young, so his value's only going up. So, will we sign him for his release course of, 56 million euros or whatever, I don't know. And then, even if he plays and only scores 15 goals or whatever, we can ship him next season for a lot more than that. In my opinion, I don't know. But if I was Liverpool's board, I'd spend all my money on Kai Havertz. All of it.
Yeah,
he's a monster.
I don't know enough. I've seen the standard YouTube clips, but I don't watch enough of German football and haven't seen enough of him.
Yeah, I've watched quite a few of the games since the German football's come back. I know he's been injured. He was injured last week for the Munich game. But I think Leverkusen are saying they want 80, 90 million for him, which actually, again, have we got the money to do that? I mean, it sounds mad, but have we? I don't know. And then there is talk that actually the Munich deal's already done and he's going to go there because, again, Munich are just going to pick off the best they can in the Bundesliga.
Sick of Munich.
And the thing is, you pay 80, 90 million on someone like that, where's he going to play? He's not going to displace one of the front three at the moment.
Well, playing number 10. Firmino up top. Salah on the right. Mane on the wing. And then Havertz here. Just doing anything he wants.
Yeah, but you'd be able to do that in certain games only. Klopp's not going to go that attacking in every game. He will tailor a team based on who we're playing, and you're still going to need the likes of Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Henderson, and all that in the midfield. So
we're going to get rid of Lallana, Lovren, Shaqiri. This is all potentially, of course, Klein, and who knows else of what Deadwood. I'm just not convinced there's not money there. There's got to be money there. Sorry, FSG out. Hashtag FSG out.
Well, they were obviously concerned about money when they bloody furloughed everyone, didn't they? So,
true.
So there's something going on there, but no, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm just happy to have the season back and get the league wrapped up, and then we'll worry about signings at a later date. I mean, if I had to choose someone else to go for, it'd be Jadon Sancho, but that's never going to happen either.
Oh, Sancho, I think it'd be worth a lot more because he's English.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And
there's players out there. There's plenty of them. I mean, I think we need a striker, a classic striker.
Yeah, well, they haven't actually called off the African nations yet, have they? There's rumours that they're going to.
Well, and that will bite us on the arse if we don't get anybody.
But as it stands, we're going to lose. We're going to lose Salah, Mane, and Keita all around the same time.
That's going to hurt.
Which is going to be bad. So
because I've got the high. I think we all have got the highest ceiling for Naby. Yeah, the guy looks like a monster. And if we lose him, Mane, and Salah, we're in deep shit if we don't. If we don't buy into decent replacements.
Well, hopefully, going on about Naby Keita, he can stay fit because he shows promise, and then all of a sudden gets injured, then shows promise, then gets injured. So he's looked good. He looked good in the Blackburn game. I know it was only a friendly, but he looked quite sort of.
That means nothing.
He still looked good though. So we'll see what happens on Sunday/Monday against Everton and go from there. But we'll wrap it up now because it's been about 45 minutes. Unless either of you have got anything else you want to talk about.
45. That's nothing.
It's nothing.
Rolling. Come on.
What else do you want to talk about then?
Let's talk about. I don't know. I'm not the host here. Steve, you're the host.
I know. I was aiming for about 45 minutes, so I've hit the nail on the head there. Look at that. That's perfect.
He smashed it.
Tell you what.
I don't know.
If our listeners could see me now, they'd see I've got a nice big smile and I'm proud of myself.
Hey, what about all those questions and those interesting tidbits I sent to you ages ago about our next top? Not that I'm going to go through it all now. There's a shit.
Okay. Right. We are going to wrap up very shortly, but just let me fill the gap. Lee sent me this. I'm going to ask you one question from this list.
Ask Terry, go on.
That we never got round to recording. So I'm just picking a random one. And this question, and it's going to go to both of you.
I don't think it's random.
If animals could talk, which species would be the rudest of them all? So, Terry.
Go on, Terry. I think I know the answer.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's a good question. Those little monkeys. Twats. Those ones that are always around running off, nicking people's food, coming in, doing all that.
Yeah, the ones in like Bali and Indonesia. And
Yeah, those little shits. Them, I reckon.
They're little pricks. Yeah. I think I have it. I'm going to go with a cat. These cats just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you walked up to a cat, if it could talk, it'd tell you to fuck off. It would say, "Don't come near me. I'm having a nap." Think about it. You've all had one. I know you have, Steve. Your own house. Like, they're dickheads. Don't get me wrong, but they're dickheads.
See, you stole my answer because mine was going to be cat. Because they're not interested. They come to you, but they just appear when they want food or want stroking, and then they fuck off.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And I think, that is the answer. If we're going to think of like a wild animal, I mean, monkey's up there, isn't it?
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be a monkey. Well, little annoying pricks.
Done. So there you go. So I think every time we do a pod,
over here.
Yeah, shut up, Lee.
Pigeon.
Right. So Lee, every time we do a pod,
all right.
From now on, I'm going to end it with one more of them questions from your list.
I like it. I think it's a good idea. Lighten up the mood a little bit.
So what'll happen is people will listen to our pods. They'll say, right, 45 minutes is up. We'll switch off now because they don't want to listen to this bullshit at the end.
They won't. They'll love it.
All good. Okay, so none of you have got anything else to talk about or anything you want to say? I will wrap it up. So Lee and Terry, thanks.
Interesting.
Thanks for joining me, and have a good night or a good day wherever you are.
Nice one. Thanks for having me on.
Nice one, all.
Lovely cushioned header. But Gerrard!